Hey everybody, big welcome back to another one of my silly little adventures. And today we are out cruising around on a 2004 Polaris Sportsman that I recently picked up for 1,500 bucks. Basically, I'll give you a quick rundown in case you didn't see any of the other videos. I slapped a battery in it, some fresh gas. I did throw on a new rear caliper and cylinder, but for whatever reason, the rear brake won't get going. Can't seem to get it to work. But anyway, as you can see, I got the quad working pretty good. However, from where I had to park at a gas station, driving down the road going like 50 kilometers an hour or whatever, I noticed that I'm hearing what sounds like grinding from a wheel bearing. But I was like, fuck it, whatever. If I gotta replace a wheel bearing, it's not really, unless the wheel pops off or something like that, which I don't think it can on this just by design. Then whatever. I'm not going to damage it anymore. Just buy a new hub on Amazon and call it a day. Also, I should have mentioned that, as you can see by title, whatever I title this is my first shakedown real ride. I did go out on a couple little rides, but this is my first real ride going, and we're going to be hitting some good mud and everything like that, going through the forest, whatnot. And it doesn't end well. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you how, but anyway, ultimately it doesn't end too well. For me, I ended up having to limp out of here, and not physically, but like quad-wise. So anyway, that's what this adventure is about. So you can see here, I'm ripping pretty well. Probably in 4 high at this moment. Might have been 4 low, I don't remember. And for the 1,500 bucks, seems like a pretty solid quad. But then I'll tell you, I've had a problem, like since getting it. One of the issues was that the shifter is not always wanting to shift like on the fly. You're supposed to be able to, I guess, push the rear brake, and then that should make it so you can shift between high, low, park, reverse, all that shit. I don't think you're supposed to do it while you drive because there's a mechanism that prevents it. But anyway, what's going on is it's not always wanting to let me shift gears while the machine is running. I have to actually shut the machine off, like if I want to go from forward to reverse, find reverse, then start it back up. So that's really unfortunate. But I did watch a video on kind of how to fix that. So, well, maybe, like obviously there can be a bunch of things that could cause that, but I did watch a video for the first thing to look at. So I do plan on doing that. Because obviously off-roading is a lot better if you can switch between gears, you know, high, low, and reverse. Of course, you have to be able to get out of stuff like that. I'll also mention just quickly while we're riding here, you're going to see different views. I was kind of playing with the camera. This is an Insta360 X3. I believe I'm going to upgrade to the X4 in the near future. I think so, because I've kind of scratched the lens on this one because I didn't use lens guards. So not the greatest condition anymore. Not terrible, but anyway. Back to the quad. So the tires on the quad more or less suck. 2 of them leak air pretty bad. But I figured for this ride it wasn't a big deal because we're going off in the mud, so even if they air down a little bit, whatever. A lot of people run like just a couple PSI anyway off-road, so that wasn't much of a concern. But if I manage to fix the other issues with the quad, then I'm going to buy some actual mud tires. This is a 600, so it should be able to handle doing that. But then part of me wants to just buy another quad because as I've learned on this, and I don't know if I talked about this in another video, but it's actually in Ontario, Canada, where I am. We got way too many rules. The ruling Nazi party that's in control has made it so that it's probably been like this forever, but you can't have 2 people on a 1-person quad. And I know you're thinking, well, that makes sense. No. I'm talking, so this quad, if I put the 2-up seat, the guy in front of me there's got one, those seats are illegal in Ontario. And it comes down to, so even if you go on Amazon and you buy the footrest, because it says the second passenger has to have footrests, even if you go on Amazon for the 30 bucks or whatever and buy a footrest set, Still illegal. It has to be manufactured from the factory as a 2-up quad. And the reason I say that is retarded is because, well, first of all, this is a 600cc, so it can handle the weight of 2 people. That's not a big deal. Obviously, the thing can, pull a trailer and do whatever the hell it does. So I know that it's not because they're worried about the power, because you can get a single seat 1200 quad, whatever. So then it's like, well, so it's because the footrest. Because if you think about it, if you picture yourself or your wife or girlfriend, whatever it is, sitting on the back of the quad, the footrest are footrest, not foot straps. So they're not locking anybody in. So if you put one of these bolted on seats, I don't see, and maybe if somebody's got something to say it in the comments, let me know, but I don't see how that is any less safe than the factory one with a seat and a little box thing that you sit your feet on. I don't see the difference. I don't see why it matters. If you roll over, it's not like the factory 2-seater is going to be some miraculously safer than the aftermarket 2-up seat. So anyway, but it's like a $500 ticket if you get caught. And ultimately, like, there's a bunch of places you can ATV. One of the places that I found was down in Norfolk County, which isn't too far for me, like, I don't know, maybe an hour away, 45 minutes, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, there you can ride, like, groomed, I think they're groomed, I've never been on them, but as far as I can tell, I believe they're like groomed trails. And there's no pass or anything, you can just go and do it, but you have to be plated and insured. But then if I want to bring anyone with me and on the quad, I don't want to get a $500 ticket. And I think from what I understand, they do patrol it. So yeah, I may just opt for the a 2-seat quad at some point. We'll see. Anyway, as you can see here, I got caught up on that little tree there, and I'm trying to shift through the gears. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's going to be like grinding and all that shit. So I don't know, it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know. Yeah, you'll see that, by the way, I should mention, just kind of wanted to, while I was thinking about it, the one quad that I was following, the red one, he's only got 2-wheel drive, so his quad was messing up or something and only had 2-wheel drive, and I was like, oh, that sucks. But then I lost my 4x4 as well at some point here, one of these times where I I'm gonna guess right there I had done it. It had pushed me sideways, and the front wheels aren't spinning, and that's why I got stuck. At first I didn't realize it anyway, so that's one of the issues that the quad had. So here you see I got to shut it off to shift gears, and then once I shift gears, but yeah, I didn't realize that for however long that it wasn't actually spinning all 4 wheels. So that's something I'm gonna have to look at. Now the 4x4 on this, there's a thing on the side of the quad that says like magnetic electronic 4-wheel drive or some shit. So I don't really know how it works. It could be a problem in the switch. Up by my right thumb is a switch for the 4x4, so maybe I got to take that apart and clean it up. That might be all it is, or could be something in the transmission. I don't know. Anyway, it really sucks because I was looking forward to a fun adventure. Like, this road goes for probably like, I don't know, 10 kilometers like this, so you guys can see, like, it gets to spots where like it goes really deep, like you can go like basically to the seat deep in water, and then there's other spots where it's bone dry and it's like gravel road, so it kind of gives you a good mix and through the woods. And then there's a spot where you go through a river. We're gonna miss all that on this adventure because I didn't make it that far before breaking down. So as you'll see here though, I'm just stuck and splashing my Insta360 with mud and shit like that. We are going to, I think this is where we're gonna end up having to just throw a winch over to the other guy's quad, and I just winch in, or he pulls me or whatever. I don't remember what we did, but anyway, to get out of there. Yeah, I'm gonna I don't think I'm going to sit and talk the whole time. I'm going to let you guys just kind of enjoy some of the ride. I know this kind of video is not appealing to everybody, but I just wanted to give you as much of the real experience of what it's like out here. So some of the video I may just stop talking and then cut back in when I feel it's time. Yeah, as you can see, I'm pulling out the winch here. Also, you'll notice that I have a gas can strapped up there. Basically, this quad, I don't understand because it's got all digital cluster and all that shit, but there is no fuel gauge on it. So I was like, well, I topped it off, and then I didn't really want to. Oh yeah, so I guess he just pulled me. I forgot to lock the lock on the cable. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want to be out on the trail with these guys and then like run out of gas in the middle of nowhere. And I kind of figured that if some shit went down and somebody else ran out, I could spot them the gas I got. But anyway, we're gonna continue along with the adventure. So I'll shut up now and let you enjoy, and I'll be back when it's time.
shut it off to reverse.
Well, here's me back again. So what happened was I went through that big puddle, and then all of a sudden the quad started like being really boggy, and now I've got no power at all. So I'm like, fuck, maybe I got water in the carb or something like that, which I knew it shouldn't because the way the airbox is and it's all sealed up, and then the snorkel is up. It's got like a built internal snorkel, not a real snorkel, but like an internal snorkel is up above the water I was in. So I knew that. And so now I'm like, shit. And so anyway, I like put it in park, and I'm sitting there trying to rev it, and like, you know, I could get it to rev up in park, but you'll see it starts not wanting to go anywhere in gear. So this is in, you know, in low, 4x4 low or whatever. I don't know if 4 was cutting in and out or whatever, to the best of my knowledge, or if not at all. So anyway, I was able to do that, get that far before it completely like bogged out, and I think I'm going to end up getting off. Yeah, I'm going to end up getting off here. These guys are like, hey, what's going on? It's a good group of guys. They're all right there. Everyone's right there to help each other, which is important. That's the whole point of going out with multiple people, right? Is so that you got someone to help if you need it, and you can be there to help others if they need it. But anyway, so I'm just sitting here explaining to him I've lost all power. I don't know if water got in, whatever. So anyway, here I'm gonna keep on giving her. I think I slammed it into gear or whatever, it got going. At some point I thought, oh, okay, cool, now we should be good. It's starting to go fine. Let's just play it out and see what happens here. I should have turned the camera around in editing so that I could have saw what we were doing here. Somebody else might have been stuck or something like that. Okay, I remember here though. Okay, so I pull over here so that I could try revving it a bunch. don't know if you hear that in the audio on there. I don't know how much I turned it down. But I was thinking that I could just run whatever is going on through. Yeah, I think we're going to turn the camera now and let you see what's up. These guys' machines are all really nice, I'll say. I got like the crappiest one out here. But for me, I sit and look at nice quads and it's like, I just can't, for how often I use one, I can't justify spending like, 5, 6, 8, 10 grand on a four-wheeler for the amount I actually get out and use it. And then it's like, well, maybe if I did it and I bought a really good one, maybe I'd get out and use it a lot. But then at the same time, when you spend that kind of money on a quad, you don't want to damage it. And so I was actually talking to the one guy about that. Like, you don't want to, you spend a lot of money on one. If you go spend $15,000 on a brand new one, you may not feel so inclined to go and, bash it through the woods and whatever. So here you can see I'm turning up the idle. Because I was thinking like, I didn't know, maybe, and I didn't actually check this. I should go out to the driveway and check it, because I wonder, is it possible the one spark plug does not, but it doesn't sound like it's misfiring though. So the one spark plug does not, the wire didn't snap on as tight as the other, so it could just be maybe the one plug wire. I don't know, probably not. I'm sitting here thinking bullshit while I'm making the video, wondering if that could be the power loss. But more than likely it's going to be a dirty carburetor, because the thing sat for, I explained in the video when I got it, it sat for a couple of years and I never bothered doing anything with the carb. So at this point, these guys don't really know that I've got much in the way of problems. They've probably just thought that I cleared whatever it was up. You can see my thumb going there. And I gotta see, I don't know if I have to shut it off to shift gears. Yeah, tranny is definitely, or transfer case or whatever however it works, is not doing great. So, I got here and instantly shifted sideways, which was very unfortunate. We were trying to go, and the last thing I want to do is be that guy, the guy that's holding the whole group back. And but I mean, you can't necessarily help it. I think, I mean, yeah, I'm explaining to him that it's not working. And I'm like, oh, look, my front wheels are not spinning. So, it is what it is. Okay, sorry, I had a little interruption there. But anyway, continuing on here. You see me just screwing around. And I know this is kind of boring for people, but at the same time, kind of shows you, you buy a $1,500 quad, this is kind of the reality that, you might face little issues here and there. That guy gave me a hand to get it started up. Or not started, but like get it rolling. And then that guy, I was thinking, oh man, I didn't want to gesture for him to move, but I was really hoping he was paying attention to move, because once I had it rolling, I didn't want to stop. And once I could see that it was struggling to have power, I didn't want to get on it, because I was trying to walk it through, thinking that if I put my weight on it, it might just make it worse. So now I jump on it, and this is it. This is full power. That's all she had. So up here, I end up just having to say to them that I'm gonna have to call it quits. And then, oh look, we got a little bit of burst energy there, and then it slows down. But then we're gonna continue on with the next phase of the adventure. Right when you think that the the bad luck with the quad adventure is gonna stop, nope, don't worry about that. I got you. There's more bullshit to this adventure. So I come to a stop, and then I realized that, yeah, it's going to bog down again. So it seemed like once you got going, it would have been okay. But it didn't want to stay going. So, well, not that it didn't want to stay going. I couldn't let it stay going, because you can't just full throttle through everything. So this is me just saying adios to the crew that I won't be joining them. And say goodbye. See you guys later. My plan, which I'm going to explain in a minute in another clip. I'm going to start talking to the camera directly. So this is going to be the end of the voiceover, I think, and then we're going to switch over to footage where I actually was talking and stuff. So let's get to it. Actually, I thought that was the end of the voiceover. It wasn't. What I did though is I came out of that road called Mud Road, make a left, and then right along here was the power lines. So I'm gonna explain this to you in a minute, but I just want to tell you that that's what this footage is. And then, so I'm gonna crawl into here, and then I'll take over speaking directly to the camera. So anyway, Mike will be back in a minute on the mic. Okay, so here we are after that fun adventure. Basically, when the quad started fucking around, I told the group just to keep going and that I would make my way back home. And I had, or not home, to my truck. And I had a choice. I could either follow the road and then go down Highway 6 is over there. And I could have done that, but you get a ticket if you ride an ATV on the road. So I saw this trail for, it looks like they're doing hydro line work. There they were last time I was out here. So I was like, oh, fuck it. Maybe I can hit the trail and come back this way, because the quad wouldn't rev up all the way. But I was like, if I can just kind of keep going, it'll be fine. But I was worried about dipping into this shit, because I was like, fuck, there's nothing to get a winch line to. So my brilliant idea was to come around, kind of like we were in the forest. I was like, if I can go around that, it'll be okay. It wasn't okay. Anyway, now I'm stuck here and the quad won't rev up. So I don't know if I got water in it or what the case is, but my plan was to let it stop and I let it cool down for maybe half hour, 40 minutes, play with my phone for a bit. If that doesn't work, I got an option. I can get my winch line around that, but that really doesn't do me anything. That just, all that does is turn my quad that way. And I mean, then I could pull it from there to maybe to the tree over there and then pull it back into the forest and try to figure it out, because then with the forest, it would take forever, but at least I've got lines. Well, actually, no, what I want to do really is if I can get the quad back over here, there's a street right here. And I can make it's a 51-minute walk from here to the gas station my truck's at. So I'm gonna come up with a plan, but anyway, this is what I've done. Okay, we developed a plan, which is call my baby mama, because she lives in the town down the road there, and she's gonna come pick me up, take me to my truck. Looks like I can drive my truck right in here, and I'll get pretty close to the quad. And once I've got to the quad, I can just kind of, yeah, throw the winch on it or whatever, come up with a plan and go from there. So that's what we're gonna do. She'll probably be like 10-15 minutes and we can get this shit show on the road and try to diagnose what happened. Oh, looky, we finally got it unstuck, and then go figure, after sitting for a while, it actually seemed to run half-assed decent, well enough anyway for me to turn it around and to get it up onto the truck, so that was good. I was picturing that I was going to have to use the winch and pull up on the hooks on the box, but
back on the truck.
that worked out pretty well, and that was me giving a little salute to the quad. And now we'll go and discuss it in my driveway. And we're back home and it's running now. Still a little boggy. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the carb apart, and then I'll try to update you guys. That'll wrap it up for now. And that was the end of that little adventure of a ride. Fuck, I missed some cleaning in there. Yeah, is what it is. For 1,500 bucks, I can't be mad. It's worth it in parts, but I think I can sort this out. So stay tuned for further updates.